I mean, why do we have unbanked? First of all, we may have an issue of trust within the financial system. That's one. Now, if you go into the specific segment we are talking to today, maybe some have concerns regarding the aspect of interest and so on. So how do we solve it? Digital is one solution, definitely. Mobile channels, and especially as the population is growing.
Non-interest finance is consistently proven to be a viable tool for promoting inclusive and sustainable economic growth in Nigeria. I mean, from mobilizing ethical funds to, supporting key sectors, it has been supportive of the economy. Hello and welcome to Islamic Finance Weekly. I am Rahma Saeed Mohammed. Joining me today on the program is Mounir Bouba, the Executive Director of ARM Investment Managers, to discuss non-interest finance as a catalyst for national development. Hello, Mounir Bouba. Thank you for having us today.
Good afternoon, Rama. Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you so much for, joining us. So, right from your perspective, how can non-interest finance move beyond a niche offering to become a mainstream driver of Nigeria's economic development, particularly in infrastructure and SME financing? I mean, ARM Investment started ethical funds right from 2007. So, I mean, it's safe to say it is a pioneer in the non-interest finance ethical fund, investments managers. So share with us, from your perspective, how can non-interest finance move from a niche market to a mainstream driver?
The Nigerian non-interest finance will move from that niche market, niche product, like you said, to become mainstream. Once really, we are not seeing just the religious aspect, and we are seeing non-interest finance as a financing tool. So the success of the Sukuk so far have demonstrated us by being involved in major project, road project. So now what is needed is to extend this success we have had with the Sukuks to other sectors. So power, rail, infrastructure, renewable energy, agriculture, and so on. To achieve this, we need to expand the Sukuk offering. The last Sukuk issuance was around 350 billion and was oversubscribed 8 times. So we need to have an active secondary market. As it is now, if you compare the size of the Sukuk market with the traditional finance, Sukuk stand at 1.2 trillion, if I'm right, versus more than 33 trillion naira for the traditional. So we need basically, I mean, this shows that there's a lot, there's a massive upside for the Sukuk. So once we have increased that size, then we'll be able to fund, and the non-interest finance can become a mainstream, I mean, the driver for other sectors.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. I mean, let's talk about Nigeria having a large unbanked population. So how can non-interest finance products be structured to mobilize dormant capital and deepen financial inclusion without actually compromising profitability?
So the issue of unbanked population, like you said, I mean, is broad. It's not just, I mean, limited to non-interest finance. So there are various means. I mean, why do we have unbanked? First of all, we may have an issue of trust within the financial system. That's one. Now, if you go into the specific segment we are talking to today, maybe some have concerns regarding the aspect of interest and so on. So how do we solve it? Digital is one solution, definitely. Mobile channels, and especially as the population is growing. Then in terms of product, what we need is small saving products, takaful related products, for example, product that can help, I mean, easy funding or easy saving products for those unbanked and that are clearly related to project physical assets. I think it would be a way, I mean, to help
the unbanked.
Reduce that gap.
Thank you so much. So let's talk about, the roles of institutions like yourself, ARM. What roles, should institutions play in scaling non-interest finance, and what incentives or policy frameworks are needed to attract more private sector participation?
So I would say, talking about ARM, is having a strong platform. Obviously, ARM, like you said, has been a leading asset manager on that space for a very long time. We have two collective investment schemes playing on that space. The ARM Halal Balance Fund, which has a strong performance, 48% already year to date. We also have this one invests both in equity and fixed income, but we also have the ARM fixed income, Sharia compliant fixed income fund that invests only in fixed income. So basically, I would say that to attract other players, we will need them to be registered with the SEC. I'm talking about the asset management side, obviously, to be able to turn problem or demand into investable assets. So build a pipeline of product to address demand that can come from a pension fund, can be to solve an infrastructure issue. So yeah. In terms of regulation, it's basically regulation. I mean, we already have a bit. What we need is more compliance, maybe across also the continent, maybe a bit more convergence in terms of regulation, and yeah.
All right. I mean, I must say it. ARM has done fantastically well in, promoting non-interest finance. I mean, it's been a conventional platform, but having an ethical fund product, I mean, it's something other private sectors should be able to tap into. So let's talk about non-interest finance being linked with sustainable, investing. How can non-interest finance be leveraged to drive ESG goals in Nigeria, especially in sectors like renewable energy and agriculture?
No-interest finance is most of the time compared with ESG because there are many principles, the principle of fairness, equitable, responsible investing. You find them also in non-interest finance. So I would say, more specifically, to replying to your question, in renewable energy, Green Sukuk, for example, can finance solar projects, mini grids, and other clean energy-related projects. On the agriculture side, structures such as Salam that can provide product financing tied to future harvest can be a solution. They will help. I mean, shared risk model also, such as Muzaraha, can help smallholder be able, to work a piece of land, small piece of land, and of course it will. It aligns with the inclusivity or aspect of ESG and build a more sustainable agriculture. Nigeria can strengthen this opportunity by extending, I would say, the green finance framework to fully include green sukuk. So yeah, this definitely will help reach another level.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's round up the conversation, right? At the second annual interactive session between the Financial Regulation Advisory Council of Experts and the advisory committees of experts of non-interest financial institutions, the Central Bank of Nigeria urged non-interest financial institutions to brace up to emerging risks like technology, governance, and operations. I mean, tell us, what is your take on that?
I'm always happy when the regulator step in. The warning of a central bank is definitely is timely. This we can only praise them. As you said, this industry is growing very fastly. We need to do this in an orderly manner. Many institutions are facing issues. Technology, maybe they are facing. Maybe they have systems that are slow. They may have legacies issues. So they need to adopt the changes. And now we are in the era of AI, robo-advisor, blockchain, and so on. So it's very important. Technology is really key. Compliance also. We want to be sure that we are compliant when it comes. In non-interest finance, we are not dealing just only with the finance aspect. We need also to comply with the Sharia principles. So it's very important for the industry that we ensure that there is a full compliance. So Sharia advisory board are really needed. So yeah, I would just say we always welcome, because we don't want. We want to build a healthy, sustainable industry for our interest. I mean, for the collective interest. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Mounir. I mean, that was a fantastic conversation with you today. Thank you for having us.
thank you very much for having me.
I mean, that was a fantastic conversation with Mounir Bouba, the Executive Director of ARM Investment Managers. I mean, we heard from him. It's to work towards the collective good of you and I mean, for the entire nation. That's what non-interest finance does. And with that, I say don't forget to give status us next on the program. Follow us on all of our social media platforms displayed on the screen. Thank you for watching. And as always, I am Rahma Saeed Mohammed.